Good morning, all of you. In last class, we discussed about the more important periodic classification of elements, properties, periodic properties. What are they? Atomic radius, ionization potential, electron negativity, electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy. Now, in this video or in this session, we discuss about some more periodic properties like as oxidation states, valency, metallic characters, oxides of metallic characters and non-metallic characters, and what about the diagonal relationship of the elements. So such things we discuss in this video. So first of all, we discuss about the valency. Generally, it is defined as the combining capacity of an element. The combining capacity of an element is called as which one? Valency. So, valency means the element combines with other elements. How many elements will be it combines? Such tendency is called as its valency. Before that, we discuss about what are valency electrons and how the valency will be calculated. Okay, so one thing you remember, we have need about 18 groups, that is 1A and 2A, 1A and 2A groups. These two groups are called as which one? Alkali metals. This one is alkali earth metals. Or these two are called as S block. That means the general configuration of these two groups are N1 to 2. That means first A group having valency electron is 1. The second A group consisting of valence electrons 2. That means all the elements in 1A group means which one? Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. Whereas in the case of second group, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. So once we observe this group element consisting valency electron 1 only, that means in the outermost orbit it consisting of only one electron, like as a 2s1, 3s1, 4s1, 5s1, 6s1, 7s1. Whereas in the case of secondary group element, the number of valency electron in every element is 2. That means 2s2, 3s2, 4s2, 5s2, 6s2, 7s2. That means the group number indicates number of valency electrons in the particular element. So what is the group number here? First A. So that's why in this group all the elements have valency electron is 1 only. Whereas in the case of second A, all the elements having valency electrons are 2 only. So that's why every group number indicates the number of valency electrons present in the particular element. Okay, so that is the valency. So here the valency is defined as which one? The combining capacity of an element with hydrogen atom or with oxygen atoms. Generally we define in lower classes. So finally what we concluded here, the number of valency electrons present in that one, that can be calculated as a valency. So here the valency is calculated as generally the group number resembles its valency. the group number resembles its valence. That means the first group valence is 1, the second group valence is 2. Whereas in the case of P block, so P block means it consisting of third A, fourth A, fifth A, sixth A, seventh A, and eighth A. So once observe, the first and second group consisting of which one? The valence is 1 and 2. That means the group number only resembles the valence. Whereas in the case of third also, the valence is 3. Number of valence electrons is also 3, as well as valence is also 3. So here the valence is which one? 4. Whereas from 5th to 8th, the valence is calculated as octet minus group number. Octet minus group number. So octet means how many electrons are there in the outermost orbit? 8 electrons. So 8 minus group number. For example, 50A means 50 group. So the valence is 3. The valence is 3. Once observe here, third group valence is also 3, as well as the fifth group valence is also 3. But oxidation numbers are different. That will be discussed later. So whereas in the case of a sixth group, 8 minus 6, that is 2. That means the sixth group element's valence is 2. Whereas 8 minus 7 for 7th group, that is 1. Whereas in the case of so in 8th group, the valence electrons are, how many electrons are there? 8 electrons. So the valence is considered 0. So for 8th group elements, the valence is 0. So that's why the combined capacity of 8th group elements, which are called as unit gases, like as which one? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Yeah. So these elements combined capacity is considered as 0, because here octet minus number of valence electrons in the shell will be 8. So that's why it is 0. So that's why they are called as 0 group elements. So 0 group elements means the valency becomes 0. So the combined capacity of these elements will be 0. Clear? So that is the how to calculate the valency of the elements. Now oxidation state. So what is oxidation state and what is reduction? Oxidation states. Till now, while you are discussing about the valence, we should not mention any positive or negative sign before that. So first group element valence is 1, second group valence is 2, third group valence is 3, fourth group valence is 4, fifth group valence is 3, sixth one, which one? 2, seventh one, 1, and which one? The inert gases or 0 group elements valence is 0. So while you are observing here, we should not mention any either positive sign or negative sign before that numerical value. Once you mentioned any sign, then those are termed as a which one? Oxidation state. Means here number of electrons gained or lost for getting octet. How many electrons it will be gained, that will be resembled as a minus sign. How many electrons lost, that will be resembled as a positive sign. So if in an element for getting octet configuration, if any electron is lost, then it acquires a positive charge, then it is said to be positive oxidation state. Whereas if any element wants to get inert gas configuration, it requires one more or more 2 electrons or more than 3 electrons, then it is termed as a negative. That means because of gaining of electrons. Gaining of electrons means it is mentioned as a negative sign before the valency. So ultimately both the positive and the negative oxidation states are existed. So once we observe here, whereas in the case of first A group elements, and the second A group elements. These two are said to be which one? S block. Am I right? So that's why the first A groupment oxidation state is +1. So once observe the configuration of first A group elements like as lithium, sodium, potassium like this. So if the lithium has 2s1, if it loses this electron, so loses 2s electron means if it loses one electron, it requires which one? Helium inert gas configuration. Whereas in the case of sodium, that is 3s1, if it loses this electron, it requires which one? Neon configuration. Whereas 4s1, if it loses this electron, it requires argon. So ultimately what happened? First group elements loses one electron means these are acquires a positive charge. How much? +1, +1, +1. So that's why these group elements, which group elements? 1A group elements. That means alkali metals are always shows a positive oxidation state, that is +1. Same as in the case of second A group elements, it loses 2 more electrons. So that's why while you are observing the electron configuration of beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium, 2s2, 3s2, 4s2, 5s2, 6s2, 7s2. So if these elements loses 2 electrons, then what happens? It gains the nearest inert gas configuration. So that's why these elements shows a +2 oxidation. Second A group element resolution +2 oxidation state. So as well as in the case of P block elements, third A, fourth A, fifth A, sixth A, seventh A, eighth A. So third means +3. This one is +4 or -4. So it has a possibility both one, but rarely -4 only. Whereas in 50A, 8 minus 5 means -3, -2, -1 is 0. 60A group element is -2, oxygen -2, and this one is which one? 70A -1, because these groups are requires one more electron to get their nearest inert gas configurations. So gain the electrons means having negative charge. So that's why -1. So 60A requires 2 more electrons, and 50A group element requires 3 more electrons. So that's why those are gains negative charge. So that's why here it is a -3, -2, -1. So once we observe in the case of fifth group elements means nitrogen, phosphorus, I am right here, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, strontium, and bismuth. Once observed here, what happened? This nitrogen valence is 3 and it shows the negative valence of which one? Oxygen state -3. Whereas in the case of phosphorus, it can be formed PCl3 and PCl5. Here the oxygen state of phosphorus is +3, here the oxygen state is a +5. That means the group elements from 5th and 6th elements can shows the variable oxidation states. Variable oxidation states. That means here some of the elements shows variable oxidation states also. Variable oxidation states also. That means variable valency also shows. Variable valency also shows here. That means here +3 and +5. So the group elements, due to the probability of which one? D block present, D orbital is presence is there, so that's why it shows the variable valencies or variable oxidation states. Whereas in the case of nitrogen, it doesn't shows the variable oxidation states. Sorry, variable valency shows the variable oxidation states, but not doesn't show the variable valencies. Shows the variable oxidation states, but not variable valency. Clear? So because of this one lack of d orbitals, the nitrogen have no d orbitals, whereas in the case of phosphorus have d orbitals. Clear? Whereas in the case of 6th group elements, like as which one? Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, like this. This group element shows a -2 oxidation state. So once we observe here, whereas in the case of 7th A, all those elements are shows -1 oxidation state. Especially the fluorine always shows -1 oxidation state only. Whereas in the case of oxygen, this shows a positive oxidation state as well as a negative oxidation state. While in the case of O2F2, here the oxygen exhibit a plus oxidation state, whereas here this one is a +1, this one is a -1. Because highest electronegative element is a which one? Fluorine. So fluorine always shows -1 oxidation state. So while fluorine combines with the oxygen, then the oxygen shows a positive oxidation state. So that's why you concluded that fluorine always shows negative oxidation state, that is -1 only. But the remaining elements can also be exhibit positive oxidation state as well as negative oxidation states. And one more thing here, the oxidation number does not exceed its group number. Whereas in the case of, this is about the which one? S block and P block. Whereas in the case of D block elements, that means transitional elements, the general electronic configuration is 1 - 1d 1 to 10 ns2. Am I right? So that's why the D block elements can show the which one? +2 oxidation state. And in these elements only, which one? The ruthenium, which one? Ruthenium and osmium shows highest oxidation state, that is a +8. In the case of which elements? Transitional elements. What are the transitional elements configuration? N - 1d 1 to 10 and ns2. Here the valency electrons means which one? ns2. So it has to possible to lose these electrons. Am I right? So that's why it shows +2 oxidation state. Sometimes availability of d electrons also it loses the electrons, so that's why it possesses up to +8 oxidation state. It means the highest oxidation state in transition elements is ruthenium and osmium, that is +8. And you must remember, every student should be remember that the oxidation number should not exceed its group number. Clear? Now, whereas in the case of inner transition elements like as F block, that means N - 2 F 1 to 14 N - 1 D 0 to 1 and ns2. So here these group elements possesses +3 oxidation state. F block element means inner transition elements. Those elements show the positive oxidation state +3, whereas D block element shows the oxidation state +2, and also some of the elements shows the variable balances here, like as in the case of iron, Fe2 plus and Fe3 and Fe3. So which one is lower oxidation state? That one is termed as a ferrous, and which one is higher? That is termed as a ferric. So higher oxidation state is always pronounced as a at last equal. For lower oxidation state it is as us. So ferrous, ferric, as well as Pb2 and Pb+4, plumbous, plumbic, Cu2 plus and Cu plus, cupric, cuprous. So that's why the D block elements means transition elements can also shows variable oxidation states with higher and lower. Higher is pronounced as ec and lower is pronounced as us. Plumbous, plumbic, cuprous, cupric, ferrous, ferric, stannic, like that. Clear? So that is about the which one? Oxidation states of the one of the periodic property for group elements. Now about the metallic and non-metallic character. Metallic and non-metallic characters. While you are moving from left to right in a period, Usual from left to right. In period, what happened? The metallic character is decreases. Metallic character decreases due to decrease in the atomic size and increase in the electronegativity. Due to decreases in atomic size and increases in electronegativity. So due to the increase in decrease in atomic size, what happened? Nuclear force of attraction is increases, so that's why it does not lose electron easily. That means what happened? The metallic character is decreases. That means while you observe the p block elements, last element group elements are non-metallic only, like as a fluorine, chlorine, bromine, radon, as well as helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. So these elements are which one? Gaseous only. Am I right? So that's why while you are moving from left to right in periodic table, in a period the metallic character is decreases due to the decrease in the atomic size and increase in the electronegativity. Whereas top to bottom in a group means like this. While you are moving like this, top to bottom, what happened? The metallic character increases. Metallic character increases. That means electropositive character increases. Electropositive character means the elements which are loses electrons easily, that nature is called as which one? Electropositive. Which elements loses electron easily? Which have the more atomic size. That means nuclear force of attraction decreases. Whenever the nuclear force of attraction decreases, they easily lose the electron and acquires positive charge. So that's why the metallic character increases. So finally, what we conclude here? While you are moving top to bottom in a group, what happened? The atomic radius increases and electropositive character is increases. Electropositive character increases. So that's what happened. Metallic character is increases. So that's why the first group elements like as the lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, the metallic character is gradually increases. So whenever the electropositive character increases, what happened? These are easily reactive with other elements to form their respective compounds. And these are easily forms ionic compounds. Whenever electropositive character increases, then what happens? They can easily forms ionic compounds like NaCl, Na plus Cl minus. So what happens here? The sodium easily loses the electron and chlorine acquires the electron, and it positive charge, it is negative charge. There must be electrostatic forces generated between the cation and anion and form a new compound is called as the ionic bond. So the elements which are more electropositive, those are easily formed the which one? Ionic compounds. Okay, that is about the metallic and non-metallic characters and electropositive character. Now, what about the nature of metallic oxides and oxides of elements? So generally, while you are moving in a period from left to right, what happened? Metal to non-metal reaches. For example, take a period like as a which one? Beryllium oxide, beryllium, magnesium, sorry, whatever I'm talking about, period means which one? Like as a second period. Second period means beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. Okay, while you are moving from left to right, what happened? Beryllium oxide, BeO, boron oxide, B2O3, CO2, and which one? NO2, like this. So these oxides, whereas in the case of third period, what happened? Beryllium, magnesium after aluminum, after silicon, after phosphorus, after silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, like this. So these oxides are which one? MgO, Al2O3, SiO2, P2O5, and SO. Once observe these oxides, when metallic oxides are dissolved in water, produces MgO plus H2O, gives their respect to hydroxides which are in base nature. Whereas in the case of Al2O3, it is amphoteric. Which one? Amphoteric. Whereas in the case of silicon and this one, they are all the acidic oxides. Acidic oxides. So while you are talking about the oxides of the elements, while in the case of period from left to right, the metallic character is decreases. So their metallic character decreases means their metallic oxides also decreases from basic nature to acidic nature. So here what happened? The magnesium oxide, beryllium oxide possesses which character? Basic oxides. While you are moving from left to right, then what happened? Their basic oxide character is decreases and converts into which one? Acidic oxide. So what we finally concluded that in a period from left to right, the oxides are increases as a which one? Basic nature to acidic nature. Whereas in a group, particularly in the case of a group, like as a which one? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, like this. These oxides, MgO, CaO, BeO, strontium oxide. So what happened here? These elements possesses more basic nature because metallic character is increases. So that's why while in the case of a period from left to right, the oxide's nature will be changes or gradation from metallic oxides are basic as well as non-metallic oxides are acidic. Whereas in particular group, what happened? The metallic character increases from top to bottom. So that's why the metallic oxides also increases the basic nature. So that's why in the case of in a group, metallic character oxides are purely bases, whereas in the period it is changes from basic oxides to acidic oxides. That's about the oxides of different kinds of elements. So what we finally concluded here, non-metallic oxides are acidic, metallic oxides are basic, whereas some amphoteric, that means metallic oxides are generally considered as a amphoteric in nature. Clear? That about the metallic and non-metallic nature and oxides of elements. Oxides of different elements. Diagonal relationship. Diagonal relationship. So once observe the second period, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. Third period, which one? Lithium after sodium, magnesium, aluminum, as well as silicon, phosphorus, sulfur. So while you are observing in the case of the second period and third period, the elements which are in diagonally, like as lithium and magnesium, beryllium and aluminum, boron and silicon. These elements which are appearing like this have some diagonal relationship, means the properties are approximately same for lithium and magnesium, for beryllium and aluminum, boron and silicon. From the next elements are not shows like that. That means carbon, phosphorus, nitrogen, sulfur doesn't shows like this. Only between the second period and third period, some of the elements, lithium and magnesium diagonally, once observe here, not straightly, diagonal, lithium to magnesium, beryllium to aluminum, boron to silicon, like that only some of the elements have similar properties in the properties. These diagonal elements are only similar in the properties of which one? Lithium and magnesium, beryllium and aluminum, and boron and silicon. From the carbon, fourth group elements to it doesn't appear because it is not shows the diagonal relationship with the phosphorus. Only some of the elements only show similarities diagonally, so that's why that relationship is called as a diagonal relationship of the elements. Clear? So that is about the classification of elements and how the periodic properties of changes, that will be discussed in this total session. So once we recollect the classification of elements, so in classification of elements, what we discussed about the classification based on the electronic configuration, S block, P block, D block and F block, and after the periodic properties like as which one, atomic radius, ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity, oxidation and valences, as well as metallic and non-metallic characters, and nature of metallic oxides and non-metallic oxides, and finally diagonal relationship. That is the total lesson what we discussed in previously and today's session. That is the completion of which one? Second unit in first year, that is periodic classification of elements. Okay, we will see next video.